Hey, we just got back from Sturgis. You can see here the bikes are looking like they've been on the road for a minute. Duper and I rode out together with the boys and spent a couple days working at Rally. Evan and Harry flew in, kind of relieved us. It was kind of neat the way that we worked the situation. There was some logistics. I think you last saw that we were at the airport undressing. We were soaking wet, getting on our flight. Harry and Evan flew in. They had to deal with that same rain, picked up the bikes at the airport. They worked for a couple of days and they rode home with the boys. They did over 1,000-mile day, so some iron butters. Just kind of wanted to say there was no real ending with Duper and I and the thrashing boys, so everything is good. We're still the boys. You know, we're just back in San Diego. We had to go back to work. Would like to do a little bike review. I guess the two bikes that we took out were a new 121-inch CVO, it was a Street Glide, and then we took our shop mule, which was a 21 Road Glide, 114 in it, had our 472 bolt-in cam chest kit, our exhaust system, and our air cleaner on it. I will say that the 121 does nut up pretty good for a factory bike. I do know that this is the CVO model. Be interesting to see what they bring out on the standard models, if it'll have this much power. As far as pulling wise, doing a comparison, we ran it through all the gears, 3rd, 4th, 5th, 6th. We did some competition, street competition, all legal. In comparison to say our 114 with the 472, we also did it in comparison to Lance's 117 CVO, which is more or less stock with just an exhaust system and tune on it. But anyways, this thing does pull pretty good, pretty impressive. You guys do know right out of the gate that we had some oil leak issues. We had both cam sensors in here leaking. We got in there and repaired it before the trip. We also had some coolant issues with it. Just to keep going as far as the review of the motorcycle, the windshield on it is way too short, especially for somebody my height, but I think for anybody's height it's way too short. The mirrors on the Street Glide are very troublesome. The left one's already broken. We had some suspension issues on the thing where the shock came loose, about kicked Duper off the road. The seat itself, it looks very nice, but this is definitely not a touring seat. You definitely, if you're gonna put some miles on one of these things, you're gonna wanna get a seat. Reach out to our boys at Saddlemen, they'll get you covered. And I also believe that the floorboards are way too short. So I look to Thrashing for, you know, some new hardware to keep your feet in place. So we got our vented dipstick in here, and I do believe that that also helped with our oil leaks, helped to relieve some pressure, but we got a good fitment for the dipstick. Supposedly this is running the water-cooled oiling system in it, same as from the previous model, so we're gonna be digging in here shortly, getting after that. When comparing our 114 with the 472, in comparison to this 121, they're pretty even out of the gate and rolling on. And then once you get into a little bit higher RPM, that's when the 114 with the 472 cam will overpower it, takes off. Same thing that we found comparing our 114 to the older 117 CVO. But out of the gate, these things do run pretty good. All right, a couple more talking points on this bike. The suspension on it is fairly nice, but I tell you what, for anybody that's looking to do a lot of riding, I would want to see much more of a performance-based suspension on it. The front end is way too soft, and we still have this goofy mix match on the shocks on the rear, so I think there can be still a heck of an improvement done on the rear. The new bag styling, not 100% sold at first, but I'm gonna tell you what, after being on the ride and looking at the bikes, I really like the new bag style. I like the aesthetics of it. I do like the shape. However, with the CVO model, you do get these nice speakers in there. And to be honest, the speakers just get in the way and they eat up a ton of room on the inside. So I would forego the speakers. I think you're going to be happy with the new bag style. Overall impression of the motorcycle, I really like the styling of it. I'm glad that they're leaving some room for improvements. Obviously, we've had quite a few issues with this model. Oil leaks, coolant leaks, etc. It's still a Harley Davidson. I'm glad to see that because it's going to keep us around, allow us to provide some solutions to the factory. We're already working on some camshafts, oiling system stuff. Look for some performance products here real soon. I really like the styling of the new Street Glide and we're excited to do something special with this one. Look for this thing to be dialed in here, you know, shortly, and we're excited to work on it.